Do you want to be able to afford the best players and open the best packs in FC24? Go to u7buy.com to buy your EAFC24 coins. It's more economic than buying FC points and just as reliable. They already offer some of the best prices out there, but you can get an additional 6% off using promo code Eli at checkout.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Alright, we have meta custom tactics to go over this time, not authentic. I will go over authentic tactics probably tomorrow, working on some Man City tactics. But this tactic is the 3-5-2. It is most likely what I'm going to use this weekend league. I'm about to do foot champ qualifiers in a little bit, see if I can get 10-0 with them. Most likely I can't, because I have gotten rank 1 with these before already this year. I just went ahead and updated them a little bit. But it's this formation right here, 3-5-2. I love this formation. It's probably top 3 favorite formations for me in the game, next to 4-2-3-1, and maybe next to the false 9, the 4-3-3 fifth variation. Yeah, probably these 3 are my favorite ones. And then 4-3-2-1 might be up there too with top 5, along with this one, if I'm not mistaken. But anywho, we're not talking about my favorite formations. We're talking about the main formation, 3-5-2. This is a go-to formation. This is like a 4-4-2, but with an extra cam. So you see you have your 2 center mids, your right mid, left mid, your 2 strikers, and then you have a cam. Or it's like a 4-2-3-1, which is also my favorite formation because you have your 2 CDMs. You have the right mid and the left mid, which are quote-unquote right cam, left cam, your main cam, and you just got an extra striker. Which, regardless, in the 4-2-3-1, this formation right here, I would always make my left back attack anyways. And because I would make him attack and overlap, it's basically the same thing as this formation. 3-5-2 is just in the defensive shape. This 3-5-2 does defend in a 5-2-1-2, which is very, very good. And I'll show you how to make it defend in a 5-3-1-1 if you need to make it defend that way to have some more defensive stability as well. But before I get into the tactics, I'm going to show you what formation this is really good against. It's very good against any 5 at the back, so it will outdo the 5-2-1-2. In my opinion, 5-2-1-2 is the entryway into getting into 3-5-2. So this one is a beginner level for a 5 at the back, and then to master it all out, or once you master it, you'll go into a 3-5-2, and this is what an elite tier player would use at a 5 at the back. So it can beat almost any 5 at the back. I think the only one it will struggle against is this 3-4-2-1. It's only because almost every formation struggles against this formation, just because you have 3 strikers and 2 midfielders coming at you at all times. But it can outdo all those formations. It'll beat the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, almost every 4-3-3. It will struggle a little bit against the 4-3-2-1 if you don't know how to manually defend. If you do know how to manually defend, then you're fine. You'll shut them off because you'll have a 5 at the back at the end of the day and 2 CDMs. And the only formation that I know you'll struggle with against a lot is the 4-2-2-2, especially when they make the right cam and the left cam stay forward, because then you'll get outnumbered on a counterattack. Because you're literally 4 players against your 3 center backs, you'll get outnumbered as long as the 4-2-4. That's the only other one that's a little bit of a weakness. But let's get into the tactics. So 3-5-2, old gen, balance 37 width, 57 depth, new gen 40 and 60. That's it. You don't have to change anything else. Everything else leave as is. No pressure on heavy touch, no press on after possession loss, nothing like that. Just 40-60 on new gen, 37-57 on old gen. Do not go any higher, because if you do go higher, you do have a little bit of a press, and when you have a press and you only have 3 center backs in the back, you'll get caught on the counterattacks, especially if you're playing against a higher tier player. They're just going to outdo you very bad, very fast. So just kind of stay here so you're more neutral. You don't rely so much on pressing. You just run with your center mids. So you run with these 2 as much as you possibly can to defend with the 2 CDMs, and then run back with your cam as well, so you don't get caught on counterattacks as well. Right mid and left mid, they will drop back into left back and right back positions. So just let them run back by themselves while you run back with your 2 CDMs and your cam. Build a play balance, direct passing. Both consoles leave it there. You can make it a little bit more attacking and put long ball if you want, but I don't recommend it yet. I recommend starting off like this, and then if you want, and once you master this and you want to make it more attacking, then you can put long ball on. I just kind of like to play more balanced, more neutral, if you know how I play. 47 width, leave it there. Don't change it. Both consoles is good. Players in the box 5. I was playing with 7, then 6, then 5, then even 4. 5 is just a sweet spot, just because it allows 2 strikers to go in the box, and your cam, your right mid and left mid will go into the box every now and then too, but nobody else will. So your CDMs won't go into the box, so you won't get caught on counterattacks, and that's it. Just your main attackers go in the box, and then you have your main defender sitting back, which is perfect. Corners and free kicks, you can do whatever you want. Before I go over who plays where, go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button. If I get 50 likes on this video, I will go back and post this 4-2-1-3, which is the Man City tactics updated post patch, so it'll work for everybody. And I'll go over that with you guys later on. Just give me 50 likes and I'll be able to do that. So center backs, put meta center backs, and then on one of your center backs, it depends on how you line up for chemistry, you might have to put like a right back or a left back there. That's fine, but just make sure whoever you put there is very good defensively. That has to be very, very good defensively, and do not put him as a center back. Put him as either the right back or the left back. So for me, example, I have Tomiyasu. He's a medium high work rated player, so he can play center back, and he has a fast pace, good defensive stats, good physical stats, so he can play that role perfectly. But if you don't have somebody like Tomiyasu, if you have like a Cafu, like a Carlos Alberto, like a Kyle Walker, players like that, you can put them there as center backs. Everybody else, just kind of make them go forward. Kai Havertz can actually get the job done as center back too. I tried him out there, and he's not bad. Just make sure to put a shadow or an anchor on him so he can be a little bit more defensively stable. But yeah, put your best center back as your middle center back, and then your left back and right back, or your left center back and your right center back should be a little bit faster than your middle center back, by the way. That's it. Make sure you also have ball playing center backs if you can, players that can actually distribute the ball, and do not try to dribble with your center backs. Try to touch and go. As soon as you get the ball, try to pass it to somebody else and pass your way out of a press. Remember, the ball will always move faster than whatever player is on the field. So if you can pass the ball faster than you running with sprint, just try to go for the passes. Like, the more passes you can do, the faster the ball will move up the field, instead of you trying to run up the field by just holding sprint and running at your opponents, because you do not want to run in the middle of the park. The more you run in the middle of the park, the more you'll get pressed and the more they'll steal the ball. Then they'll counter you, and then your defense is in all types of different places where they shouldn't be. They get caught on the counter, they get caught off of their positions, and then you get scored on, and you don't want to deal with that. So just make sure you pass out of the back with your center backs, or just send them to one of your right mid or left mid, one of your wing backs. Just flip it to them. That's it. 2 CDMs. I play 1 CDM and 1 box-to-box center mid. You can play 2 box-to-box center mids if you want, or you can play 1 CDM and 1 box-to-box. It's kind of up to you, however you line up your formation. But I have Patrick Vieira and Iwobi. So Patrick Vieira is more of my stay back CDM. So he's just gonna do the same thing as the center backs, just kind of touch and go, get the ball, pass it, distribute it, and that's it. Not try to dribble with him. The one that I do try to dribble with is Iwobi. Once I'm higher up on my opponent's side of the field, then I'll dribble a little bit more with my center mid. I'll do Travella's, even though Travella's got a little nerfed. They still work. They're just, you have to get a better angle whenever you're going to shoot them, because they did get a little nerfed. But if you can have a player that can shoot Travella's here, perfect. Any long ball traits, even better, because you do have to do through balls. Now that Travella's are nerfed, finesse shots are nerfed, you have to work around that, and the way you work around that is by doing through balls, doing cutbacks, because cutbacks are still okay. Actually, it's probably the best way to score still, but I recommend learning how to do as fast as you can through balls, like first time through balls to your strikers, and then learning how to do cutbacks, and that's like the best way to score. Or going for that extra pass whenever you're in your opponent's final third, that'll always help out too. But make sure you put a box-to-box center mid here. So an ideal combination would be Vieira and Iwobi, or like a Hullet and like a Frankie de Jong, or like a Hullet and like a Sawa, or even Sawa and Bruno Fernandes, somebody like that in the midfield area. That would be a perfect center mid partnership. Right mid, left mid, try to put high work rated players there, or if not, put high medium or medium, or make sure they have some good defensive stats, kind of like Kai Havertz. He's a medium, but he has very good defensive stats, so by default he drops deep to defend in a 5-2-1-2. And Gabriel Martinelli, he's high, so he'll just drop deep regardless. It doesn't matter on his defensive stats. He'll just drop deep because he has that high work rate. Cam is your playmaker, so the best dribbler of the ball and the best distributor of the ball. So the person that can pass the ball the best should go here. ideally you want somebody that has some type of passing trait, like an incisive pass. For me, that's Odegaard. That way they can send first time through balls to both of your strikers. So that's kind of who you want here. Or make sure you have a very good dribbler that can shoot from anywhere, has a 5-star weak foot or 5-star skill moves, like a Messi, like a Neymar, somebody like that, a Garincha, Pele, somebody that's really good there. And then your two strikers, ideally you want fast, pacey strikers. You could do a big, bulky striker and a small, agile striker. That's what I do, kind of mix and match. Or you can do like a Eusebio and Mbappe, or players like that, Dalglish up top, whoever you have, R9, Ronaldo, whoever, put them up here, up top. You know who to place where. Okay, let's get into the instructions. Goalie comes across a sweeper keeper. All three center backs stay back while attacking. That is it. Both CDMs are cut passing lanes. Stay back while attacking. Cover center on both of them. If you do want to make it a little bit more attacking, you can put one on balance attack, but that is up to you. That's the only thing that you can kind of change on the midfield area if you want to make it more attacking. That's completely up to you. You know how you play. You know if you want to make it more aggressive or not. Just try it out if you want to try it out. If it doesn't work for you, then just come back and put stay back while attacking. Right mid, come back on defense, stay wide. Same thing with the left mid, come back on defense, stay wide. So what I realized is that when I turn on hug the sideline, it spreads out my midfield a little bit too much lately, especially when I'm trying to get out of a press. So what I do is I just put my right mid and my left mid as stay wide, so they actually stay wider and they don't stay all the way into the sideline. They just get a little bit wider than what I need them to be. That way I can kind of send them first time through balls, because if I make them be too wide, I've been hurting in the midfield area trying to get out of a press, especially when somebody's playing me with a 4-1-2-2 narrow or like a 4-3-1-2 with a press. So by stay wide, it allows them to just stay a little bit more wider than normal, but enough to where I can kind of send them the ball via like a first time pass or something like that. That's why I have them like that. Everything else leave default, so that way they won't move out of position too much unless you make them move out of position. Your cam is going to be basic support and get into the box for cross, because when in doubt, a cutback will get you out, because that's still the best way to score in this game with the cutbacks. And plus, you need them to run into the box to get more attacking support in the box, and so you can get that extra pass in the box if you need it, so you can kind of sweat the goal, just guarantee the goal if you need to. And then also when your strikers move out of position, he'll just fill in that empty space that they leave behind. And both strikers are going to be stay central, get in behind. That is it on both of them. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more defensive, if you don't know how to turn on the D-pad tactics, the bottom arrow, then the up arrow, which is striker drop back, then what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of these strikers and then put come back on defense, and that's going to make them drop deep, and it'll make them defend in a 5-3-1-1. So let's say you put your left striker and come back on defense, then that person will become the left center mid. Your left center mid will become the center mid, and then your right center mid will become the right center mid, or stay like that. As long as that makes sense to you, then yeah, there you go. If you switch it around and you put the other one come back on defense, then just flip-flop everything. So just keep that in mind whenever you are doing this. Do not put the cam on come back on defense, because then that takes away from this little triangle of death, as I like to call it. You don't want to get rid of this little death triangle. You just want to have this. You want to have a cam ready to go and one striker ready to go, while the other striker kind of comes in for support if you need to make it a little bit more defensive. If not, leave the death triangle intact, because that's what works miracles for me, and that's how I get to split open defenses, especially when they're parking the bus, so I can just send quick one-time through balls just as fast as I possibly can, just getting ready to just tear up my opponent's defense. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Let me know if you guys want to see some gameplay on this formation later on. I will post some probably in Foot Champs or Division 1 or Elite Division later on. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.